Welcome back. I hear this constantly from men. A lot of complaining about why they can't get a woman. I can't get a woman because of X. And X can be anything. It's my height, it's my face, it's my income, it's my job, it's dating apps. It must be women's standards, it's modern dating, it's society. There's always something about why they can't get a woman. And look, man, I get it, I really do. Dating can be extremely frustrating. Feels unfair, and often it is unfair. Rejection, it sucks. Feeling invisible sucks. Feeling like you're doing everything right and still getting nowhere, it sucks. I get it. I truly understand. But at some point, you have to stop and look around at the real world. Because in the real world, men with way worse circumstances than you are dating, having sex, and getting into relationships and building lives with women. And that should make you pause for a minute and think. Because if they can do it, and I say that with the utmost respect, if they can do it, then whatever explanation you're using might not actually be the explanation. Think about it honestly. There are guys that are broke who have girlfriends. There are ugly guys with wives. There are short guys in long term relationships. There are overweight guys who somehow always seem to be dating someone. There are men with bad jobs, no car, living with roommates, who don't have big social status, no fancy lifestyle, and they still manage to meet women. There are men with criminal records who have women waiting for them. There are men literally in jail with women writing them letters. There are men with physical disabilities in relationships, men in wheelchairs with visible scars, missing limbs. You name it, you got it, man. There's all kinds of men in worser situations than you or who are more disadvantaged than you. Now, this isn't some inspirational poster nonsense. It really isn't, but it is reality. Look around you, man. So when a, quote unquote relatively normal guy says something like, I can't get a woman because of XYZ, I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean you can't get a woman? But what this guy is really saying most of the time is, I don't know how to create attraction. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm a little bit scared to admit that. And I don't mean that as an insult. It's okay to say, look, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do X, Y, or Z. That's fine, but you have to admit it. You have to be honest about it. Because blaming circumstances, it usually feels way safer than looking at your own behavior. If the problem is your height, then you're done. If it's your weight, you're done. If it's genetics, you're done. If it's just women in general, well, guess what? You're done because women, right? It means you don't have to risk rejection anymore. You don't have to be awkward. You don't even have to approach. You don't even have to feel anymore. But you do get to sit comfortably behind a theory about why it's impossible. And here's the uncomfortable part. The guys you're comparing yourself to, the broke guys, the ugly guys, the guys with nothing going for them on paper, really, they did do something that you didn't do. And that is they actually showed up. Oh, they talked to women, sure. They flirted, and badly at first, I guarantee you. They got rejected a lot of times. They embarrassed themselves more times than you can count. And still, they kept going. They didn't sit around trying to prove that dating was unfair, because we don't need to prove that we know this. They just played the game with the cards they had. And yes, I get it. Sometimes you get dealt a very bad hand. Doesn't mean you lose the game. It means you need to play the game differently. Use it to your strengths and use your advantages. And yes, even if you think you don't have some, you absolutely have some things going for you that you can use to, you know, play the game better and get yourself a nice woman. And another thing men really misunderstand is how attraction works. A lot of men think dating is a checklist, and that is obviously because of social media, I think. If you don't hit enough boxes, you're automatically disqualified. But attraction doesn't work like a spreadsheet. It's women don't they don't date resumes, man. They date how a man makes them feel around him. Confidence beats money more often than men want to admit, and presence beats looks more often than we like to admit. And being comfortable in your own skin, that's sexy. That beats potential more often than we like to admit. That's why a guy with nothing going for him can still succeed because he's relaxed, not auditioning, and not apologizing for being himself or for existing, really. And that calmness, it's attractive, it's sexy. Here's another pattern I've noticed. Men who do okay with women don't spend much time analyzing why dating is broken. They don't obsess over algorithms. They don't argue endlessly about standards and how unfair everything is. They don't build identities around being disadvantaged. But they do focus on interaction. They pay attention to what works and they adjust when it doesn't. They learn through experience and not theory, not learning via, what is said on social media, for instance. Meanwhile, the men who struggle often, they know everything there is to know about why dating is unfair. I can tell you that much. Except how to talk to a woman without being resentful or without having that resentment leak into the conversation. And women feel that immediately. Not consciously, though, not logically, but they feel it. They feel that something is off. And then you get that self fulfilling prophecy. And, when a guy walks in thinking, you see, I knew it. Women are the problem. No, dude. The bitterness that showed up before you even realized it. That is what messed it up for you. This doesn't mean dating is easy. I'm not saying that. It doesn't mean that women are perfect. I'm not saying that either. It doesn't mean that some men don't have disadvantages. And of course they do. And I'm not saying that there are men who have a lot of things going for them, who are, well, maybe on the easy path. I'm not saying that that isn't the case. But you have to understand, and this is important, disadvantages aren't disqualifications. It might feel that way, like checking boxes. But what it really is, these are just conditions. And blaming everything except your own behavior might protect your ego. It probably does, but it's also, well, it also doesn't really guarantee you anything. So the next time you hear yourself say, I can't get a woman because of X, ask a harder question and be honest. If men with fewer advantages than me are doing fine, what am I actually avoiding? What am I doing wrong? Because the answer usually isn't genetics or society, it's usually discomfort. And to get a woman, discomfort is the price of admission. Hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye bye.